Hey, I'm Kay, just a girl making ridiculously crazy builds in The Sims. Come check them out.
Welcome to Vintage Manor. I'm not sure why I called it that. It's not very vintage or manor-like. It's got some Victorian vibes. Anyway, I built it for an elderly family, so it's got some elderly vibes. Anyway, let's take a look. It is in Willow Creek, and I was kind of looking at the houses that were already here, thinking I want something that matches that style. And I was thinking, where am I going to put it? I like putting things near like rivers because it's part of the property, sort of, kind of, not really. And then I figured I'll just go stick it over in this first area I was looking at because I can sort of match the vibe of these houses over here. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm just going to take you through a quick little speed build portion of the build. As it's doing that, I will just let you know that this is a floor plan that I saw online actually. So it had the main floor and the second level. So I'm just copying what I see in front of me, basically. And it did actually show me the front of the house as well. So that all comes from images that I've seen. So this is the layout that was on there, and I followed it to a T. It is exactly what's there. Now, the thing is, it is 100% AI generated. I know that because of a lot of little weird things. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to attempt to make it because people seem to love all this AI stuff going on and all these AI houses. And I keep seeing people commenting on houses that I love this layout and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that house is fake. How can you not tell? So I figured I'm going to make a fake house. I mean, I'm already making a fake house. Anyway, look, I'm also making a fake display of a train set. Pretty sure all elderly men love train sets. Anyway, if you shrink down outdoor, not that Christmas tree, if you shrink down outdoor plants, you can put them on a display like this and pretend like you have a train set. Doesn't really work, but it looks okay. Also, this cat structure is ginormous, so I shrunk that down too. Let's hope it works. Now let's get back into the actual house. That's what you're here for. So as I mentioned, I saw an image of the front of the house and the floor plans. So I knew where windows were. I knew where doors were. So I put them in the place where they belong. I did add that like glass sunroom type area and then that weird overhang roof just for shits and giggles. Can I say that on here? Anyway, let's go inside this elderly home. So I have given it sort of that Victorian old school home feel with the wood paneling and the wallpaper and brown everywhere. This room here is the casual living room. That's what I'm going to call it. It is where the elderly couple sit in their recliners and watch their TV. Directly across from that is the parlor room. This is the fancy living room where they sit when guests come over and discuss the weather or hot topics from the 1970s. Actually, my couple is older than that, so it's probably more like the 1950s or 40s. I don't know. You can't really properly age your sim in the game, which sucks because I would like them to be at least 85 to 90 years old. Anyway, that was the dining room where they have dinner. What else to say about that? This in here is the office. Lots of paneling, brown. Again, they love wood. Wood is their favorite. And moving along. Now, another thing with this, I'm just going to point up here. The railings. Oh my goodness. They do not attach to the floor because the floor just looks like a sheet of paper. Why does that happen? That's really annoying. Anyway, moving on. What is in door number 1? Cat litter box. What is in door number 2? Check that out. Slow motion. That's the basement. Coming around. We're going to take a look at the kitchen. So don't know what I was doing here. It almost is giving like Italian vibes with like the brick and the black cabinets. It's not really what I was going for, but that's what happened. Sometimes stuff just happens and you go with the flow. I also put that shelving unit over there to put more plants on, and looks like I forgot to put plants on it. So if you want to download this, can you put plants on it for me? That'd be great. Now, as we come down the hall here, we have tucked in there a little breakfast bar area, so a little coffee machine. In here is the pantry area with all the cabinets for all of your snacks. In here, tucked away, is a powder room. And then coming back out of there, I was able to get into that powder room doing some funky camera angles to actually show it to you. There's one more powder room in this build that I'm not going to bring you into. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, let's make our way down the hall and up the stairs to check out the second level. Now, the main hallways could use some more pictures. I don't have that many great picture options with the packs that I have. So if you have like a ton more packs and you want to download this, awesome. Put some pictures on the wall because I could really use it. Whoa, right? Yeah. I decided to do like that blue-green seafoam color tile because like older homes would have something like that. And people like to keep those these days. So I was like, we're going to keep that. Anyway, here's a little bit more of a modern bedroom because I'm pretending like they had a little bit of an upgrade, like with millwork cabinetry. We're just going with that because I love that mudroom pack and I love adding it in basically every build. So I did the same thing as I did in my previous build where I built it around the bed because I think that is a space saver and looks pretty fine to me. Now, this home has technically 4 bedrooms, coming in a little nursery here. This could be an office. I did call the room downstairs an office, but actually that was the library. So my bad, that was a library. This could be an office if you would like, but on the actual plans, it did say nursery, so I kept it a nursery. This room, however, was a bedroom, but I figured for the game, I'm going to make it a playroom. You could easily change that out, take out the stuff in the middle and just put a bed in here if you have a larger family. I did put a little doggy door there for access under the stairs on the other side. Wow, I cannot talk. This is the other powder room that my camera wouldn't let me get in. It kept flipping the image upside down, so we just couldn't get in there. But that's fine. It looks basically the same as the other one. Now, on the plans that I saw, there wasn't this outside area here. So the whole greenhouse below and this upper deck was not part of the build, but I felt like it needed to be because my elderly couple have sore backs and they need a hot tub right outside their room. So we did that for them. This is their master bath. They have a separate toilet room within it, and the shower and tub is in a wet room, as they call those. Now, as we swing around the bed here, lacking a bit of pictures, I know, but you can add your own touch if you want. Coming in here, you see the stairs here that I was talking about, that doggy door. Little kids can go inside, and I did put a toy bin in there so they can play with that. That was the master closet and also access to the attic. And I did put some random things in the attic just for fun. Now, you can see the roof doesn't really go real nice on here when you do like a bunch of different roof systems and shove them all in, but it still kind of works as an attic. So I put stuff in there. Now let's get to the floor plan overview, just for those who need a little bit more clarification. So the roof system was ridiculous. I played around with that for a long time. There's this second level roof there as well. It was a lot of annoyance. Anyway, from the attic, you come down those stairs and you are in the master closet and the master bedroom right there with its own little deck with hot tub and sitting area. The master bath has 2 separate sinks and a sink in the toilet room so that you can wash your poopy hands in there. And then, of course, the tub and shower in its own little room in there. Now, coming out there, come on, bring that little mouse out. Yep. Now there is the powder room, which I thought was ridiculous because the AI had it there. And I was like, there's a bathroom already on this level right here. But then I started thinking, maybe it's because if that was a bedroom, you have 4 kids living in this house, all using this one bathroom. Like, what if someone needed to pee and someone's in there taking a shower? It's handy to have it. So I figured, yep, let's keep that in there. That's actually pretty smart. So anyway, we have that extra powder room for those who can't hold their pee, which is a lot of people. So coming down the stairs, we are in the main entry here with a nice wraparound porch. It actually wraps right around almost the entire thing. You can see it right here, and then you got to come out to the garden over this deck here, and then you can actually come around, enter a door here, or come down here and walk out to the path, or right up here and back right around to the front. Also, I put trees and planters to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So you can't probably plant anything in those. Sorry, but it looks cool. Now, coming back up this main hall here, off to the one side, the first room we went into, the main living room with the TV and the cat tower because the old lady loves her cat. The parlor sitting room actually has a hallway attached to it that goes right to the kitchen. And then in there is a little utility closet, which I put the vacuum in because I love putting vacuums in closets because when they turn on, the door opens and they come out. The kitchen area with the little back bar in here and attached pantry, and the washroom snuck back in there. Now, I could have put the washroom on the other side, more central, so you could access it from that hallway, but I wanted it to have a window, so that sort of set the place of it where it's going to be over there. I don't think it, actually no, I think it is there in the plans, but my mind was like, it should be over here attached to this hallway. Instead of going through a pantry filled with food to get to the toilet. I thought that was weird. But that was actually on the plans like this. And so that's what we went with. Anyway, this area, again, was not, but I added it because every old lady needs a sunroom for all of her plants. That's just a kind thing to give them. So we gave it to them. Over here is the library where I put the office desk in, and I'm calling it office/library area. And then of course the dining room, which is quite a small, tight room, but long room. It fits perfect in there. You don't really need more space than that anyways. The basement, which we can't go down. Oh, we can go down, but we can't go down through the walkthrough. I didn't show you that yet. So let's just look at it through here. Then we'll build a family so that we can get into the basement for better viewing. Anyway, water heater, pipes, electrical, washer, dryer, the train set, and a bunch of just random stuff on shelves. That's what's in every basement, I assume, of an 85-year-old man and his wife. Over here, there's nothing. I kind of left that for your imagination if whoever wants to download it. Like you can put like a little recreation area down there, like some games or some like couches and another TV area for kids. I don't know, whatever you want. Or totally refinish the whole house. Or don't even download it. Do whatever you want. Anyway, here's the house all done in Willow Creek, looking great. Let's build a family for it. Now, normally I go with the first person they give me, but this guy just wasn't giving the vibes. I made him an elderly man and he still looked super young. I'm like, nope. So we went on a search. And then we found this guy. Voldemort? You're not going to work. So kept looking, and then he showed up. You sort of look elderly, but you kind of look perfect for this home, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Let's go with you. I like it. Just going to look through his clothes real quick. Awesome. Hilarious. Love it. I'm not changing a thing because I don't have time for that. I'm going to go on vacation soon, and I need to get a video done. We're just going to give a name. Walter. It's a very elderly name. Walter Elders. Give him a bunch of fun traits. He loves family and all that jazz. Now we're going to give him a wife. Yep, perfect. She wins. You are Walter's wife. Welcome to the family. Let's look at your clothes. Perfect. Not changing a thing. Some of it's funny. Love it. Hilarious. Keeping it. Her name, I didn't know what to name her. And then I'm like, Gladdy? Yep, Gladdy Elders. That's her. So here we go. Sometimes I'm like, where do these names come from? And then I was generating them a daughter. It's like, this girl's perfect. I love her. Then I noticed that her dad wasn't there, so I had to put her dad in. And then that changed her. And I was like, are you kidding me? She disappeared. Can we get her back? Because she was perfect. So I went on a search. Bump, 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 bump. Nope, you can't. He can't. So you can't go backwards. So I was just like, next person I click is it. And this was the next one I clicked. I'm like, well, that's what I said I was going to do. So you are the winner. Now we just have to look at your clothes, which are also hilarious. Love it. Keeping them all. Now for a name. I was like, what am I going to call you? I also want to keep it on the elderly side. So I was like, Eleanor. Eleanor Elder. I feel like your parents would have called you that. So we are going to give you a bunch of fun traits. Now, she is a single mom. I don't know why. I didn't ask questions. But she moved back in with her parents with her 2 kids. And this is her daughter, who is looking cute. And we are going to name you. What are we going to name you? It's like Alice? Sure. Alice it is. Where did it come from? Don't know. Top of my head. And we are going to randomize another daughter, and it's an infant because we need someone in that little baby room, and we're going to name you Fern. Little Fern is wiggly. Perfect. Totally cool. Love it. And right, a cat, because Grandma loves the cat. This cat has a sweater. 100% sure this grandma would put this cat in a sweater, so we kept it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to name you Elder. And I was like, Whisker. No, nope. What is your name? Like, seriously, what is your name? I was like, Goldie. Freaking Goldie. And there we go. That is the Elder's family. Look at Grandpa with his hunched over back. He's like, I'm in pain. Now that we have the family living in the home, I can access the basement with better camera angles. So let's go down there and take a look at Walter's model train set. It's completely finished. Yes, some of the trees and plants are going through the table and you can see them underneath. But we're going to ignore that because it's cool. It's kind of cool. Anyway, typical basement of an elderly couple, like old washer dryer, an old sink, old water heater, old pipes, bunch of random stuff on shelves. You know, the basics. This whole area was the empty space. Feel free to do whatever you want. That's fine. Now, let's take a look at this train set a little closer and see if we can get Walter to come downstairs and interact with it. Interact with it. Walter's just viewing it like, yep, I love it. And then he's going to put his hand up like, hey, I can't interact. I asked him to pick up the helicopter and give it to his granddaughter, which he left on the concrete floor right here to now. He's a great grandfather. Now, I was really hoping Walter would pick up his granddaughter, but nope, he just went upstairs and left her there. And then he changed his clothes, and I asked him to get the cat in this room because I wanted to see if the cat would go on this unit that I shrunk down. Is it still usable? And then miraculously, instead of going on the cat bed, he jumped up there, and I'm like, yes, it works. So that's awesome, and I was hoping the cat would go do more stuff on it just to make sure, but he spent 12 hours in this room. I had to speed up the video because I'm like, what is he doing? He just kept walking on out all the tables and everything. And then he finally decides this is the perfect spot. That's freaking adorable.